Hello everyone, welcome to Watch Complications. This video is one of a larger series I'm going to do on taking a Swiss Sellita movement apart and putting it back together again. What I have is a Sellita SW210 movement, and this is the main plate, the main bridge for the Sellita 200 series. And as you can see, I've taken it completely apart at this point, and you can here in the background you can kind of see I've got the movement completely taken apart. But I'm doing a larger series on taking one of these Swiss movements apart and putting it back together again, just as a learning experience and to share the videos. And the reason why I chose this particular movement is because it had a broken bridge screw, and I want to I thought it'd be a good movement out of the ones that I had to use as the example. We're taking apart and putting it back together, and try to get the lighting worked out here. But you can see right here is the broken screw. What I mean by that is the head is popped off of it. It's gotten overturned at some point. The head popped off, and so this screw is stuck in here. And in order to get these out, there's a couple ways you can do it, but you might hear, you could tear basically the movement all the way down, take the movement completely apart all the way down to the bridge, and then you could soak this in some sort of a solution to basically eat the screw away, as long as you make sure there's no other parts on here that might also get eaten away in the meantime. But another way is to use a screw extractor, but in order to do that, you have to tear it all the way down to the bridge so you can get at this screw from both sides. And then use a tool like this, which is the Bergeon 3209. These run at about $100, usually a little bit over. You can get them at one or two distributors in the US anyway, and they're on eBay sometimes. I was actually able to pick this up for about a little less than $40 because it only came with one extractor bit on this side, and so then I had to order some of these other pens separately. But these are expensive, but I think would be well worth the money if you're going to do a lot of working with movements, and once in a while you overturn something, a head comes off, and you got to get the screws out. And the sizes of these tips range from 0.4 all the way up to 1 millimeter. And what I've got in this one currently to deal with my broken screw is usually you'd use the same size. But in this case, what I want to do is back the screw out, of course, the way it came. And there's a little bit more on the side where the head broke off. So right here, this is 0.8. And then what's going to go into the screw from behind is 0.4. So this will go all the way into the hole, and I'll set the bridge between here, and then I will turn this, and it'll get closer, and it'll back that screw out that direction from right to left. Easier to see on this end, but let's see if I can get that to focus. Notice there are teeth on the end of these. That's so it can grip the screw. There's usually about 4 teeth. One is usually a little bit longer than the others, and so that's what grips the screw. I said a decent investment if you're gonna do this much. So one other thing is, there's no videos online. I couldn't find any videos on YouTube or elsewhere of this tool actually being used on backing a screw out of movement. Now there's a couple ways to use this tool. I just described the way I'm going to use it. This is made so you can put it in a vise, and so you would put this in a vise and on a workbench. And the way the box for this product tells you to do it is to basically you'll put the bridge in here like so. You'll fit it down in there between so that the bits are on both sides of the screw, and then you'll turn the actual bridge. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So I'll show that up close. Okay, so here we are, and I've got the the bridge between the extractors. As I mentioned, this pin is in the hole from behind and into the screw hole from behind, and this side is just sitting on the broken top. And once you've got these tightened up, so this is tightened up over here on this side. I've also tightened this up pretty well. It's a little, maybe just slightly loose, but that grips pretty tight inside of this tube that it's in. So I've got both tips on either side of the screw, and then what you do is you actually turn the bridge. So I'm not turning this actively. I'm not really pushing on this or anything. I'm just turning the bridge. There aren't any other videos of this online on YouTube or anywhere else that I could find of actually using this tool to extract the screw. But like I said, just get the right size tips, and I can show you. It's there on either side of the broken screw. The broken head is on this side, just for reference if you were going to do this yourself. And so we want the screw to back out the way in which it goes in, so we want the screw to come out this way. So the broken head is on the left, and like I said, this is the underneath, this is the back of the hole. And then I'm just turning. The way you do this is you turn it towards me, and this should slowly back the screw out that was broken. As long as there's a grip on there and you can kind of see the screw is starting to come out, you can kind of see, let me zoom in a little bit here for you. The tip is a little bit higher, so the tip's right there, and you can see the screw has started to exit the bridge. So I will continue to, I'll leave this zoomed in so you can kind of see it. I'm going to turn it towards me. You can see it there. It's probably going to pop out here in a second, so you can see the screw there. A little bit tedious, but you know, it's a pretty small screw. This screw that I'm extracting is size 0.8, and the tip on the size of the head is 0.8, and like I said, the tip on the inside from the bottom, so it would actually fit inside the hole without ruining the threads, is 0.4. So just keep turning that, and at this point the screw will fall out, so I'm just going to unscrew here from the back, and there goes the screw. You can see it fall down. And let's take a look here. Okay, you can see where the broken screw was, and I'm gonna take this the camera down in a second so you can see it better. From a better angle, but right here is where the broken screw was. You can see it's a little bit torn up around it a little bit. That's not from the tool. That's from someone who tried to extract the screw by some other means prior, and it wasn't working well. Here's the hole from the back. Say there's a few scratches there from the tool insert, but the thread should be okay. We were able to extract the broken bridge screw, and it is quite tiny. Like I said, this screw is size 0.8. I'll see if I can get it to zoom in a little bit. It's pretty beat up. You see the head is broken off of it, but we were able to get it out. That's this part of the video. There's going to be some other parts about taking the movement apart and putting it back together. Like I said, this was a good practice movement since it had a broken screw and gave me a chance to show you how to use this particular tool. So hopefully you find this useful. Like I said, if you get hold of one of these, they can be expensive, but if you've got to do this often, comes in handy.